Hey everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of the Covers Face Off on the Scratch a Track podcast presented by the Dude and Grimm Show.
That's the one. And I'm Grimm, and today we're going to talk about a little tune called Lake of Fire in the first Covers Face Off episode of 2021.
And what a year it has been so far.
I mean, already you figure just start from last January 1. I mean, it's... I'm talking like exponentially.
Definitely exponentially. I already got my Halloween Chewbacca storming the Capitol Halloween outfit picked out, so I only got to wait 9 more months or so.
Oh, wow, that's funny.
It's going to be a good one. Yep. So, on that note, Lake of Fire, dude. Lake of Fire. Now, I have to fully admit to all the fans out there, all the Meat Puppets fans out there, I am truly, deeply sorry. I had never heard this song, heard of the Meat Puppets, or anything before I heard Nirvana do it. And we are talking about Nirvana and the Meat Puppets. But had you known this song before you heard MTV Unplugged?
Dude, I did not. But I'm trying to think of some other more popular-ish stuff, because I feel like there's something that I didn't know of theirs, but let's just move on from that because I'm not really sure.
We'll just pretend that you did. Like there was something that really, had its hook in you.
So anyways, no, I didn't. And I think that, with, oh yeah. Okay. Sorry. Backwater. That's what I was looking at. The song called Backwater off the album Too High to Die. I did know that song. When the backwater swirl in, there are some things that'll never change.
Okay.
Dude, if you listen to alternative radio, you know that. And if I wake up in the morning. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so I did know that one, and I'd listened to that album. Had not listened to Meat Puppets 2, that this appears on, of course, until doing a little background check on this episode.
Little deep dig in there. Yep.
I liked it. It was, you can definitely see why it would have had a big influence on Kurt Cobain.
Sure.
I mean, in listening to it, it makes sense. I personally liked his vocal delivery more on the cover version from 1990 Traces Unplugged.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was...
it was recorded in 93. See, now that's where we need another sound effect. It's like, you fucking moron.
Dude, that's why we got the super fans out there.
Yeah.
We know you let us know. We appreciate that. Just be nice about it. We're sensitive souls. But dude, this was on Meat Puppets 2, which was 1984.
That blows me away.
Like, dude, that's crazy, man. Like that this music, that the Meat Puppets, their songs, this song came out in 84. Like that just, to me, doesn't fit 1984, the times, what was going on in popular music. But
true, but that's the point here, really, is that like really it was music. Underground, man. And I think that's the kind of stuff that influenced, and probably a lot of the other guys who were prominent in grunge too, but Cobain for sure. Well, because I'd certainly never heard of the Vaselines either, and they had covered a song. I think it was "Jesus Doesn't Want Me for a Sunbeam."
I think you're right
on that album as well.
Yep. Because Kurt said that he was a fan of the Meat Puppets after seeing them open up for Black Flag in the 80s. That's
they opened for Black Flag. Oh man, I'd like to know what year. Because with Black Flag, you got
in the 80s. That's what
I know, but
the 80s were long. They were 10 years, as most decades are. So
I know, but you get into late 80s. Like you want it to be Black Flag when Henry Rollins was the lead singer. Like first album Black Flag would be my preference. Damage.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, sweet album.
Yeah. Well, so, I hadn't heard the Meat Puppets version for a while. Like I know I'd looked it up and listened to it. I was introduced to it obviously by the as I said, the MTV Unplugged, and their version, it has the electric guitar in it,
which I do like.
Which, and on Unplugged, they couldn't do an electric guitar, although in The Man Who Sold the World, I forget what they ran in acoustic bass. They did something through to give it sort of that effect, but that's beside the point. Theirs is a little more up tempo than the Unplugged MTV Nirvana version, I should just say, Nirvana version. And also I noticed that there's they got some background vocals, or they double the vocals a little bit, whereas I think in Nirvana's version it's just Kurt pretty much singing. I don't think anybody else sings.
Yeah, but that name is kind of a tongue twister. I like it. Kurt Kirkwood. His or Chris, I actually, not claiming to be a super fan of the Meat Puppets, so don't crucify me here. I don't know who actually took lead vocals on that particular track or initially.
I think it's Kurt, but I'm not a super fan either. So,
okay, well that would make sense. But I like it because it's almost like a little bit unhinged. It's kind of crazy, and I think that, again, certainly being able to see that influence with Nirvana and Cobain. However, like I said, his delivery was a little more controlled and just enough.
Yeah, and I think there's a couple things. I mean, again, it is Nirvana, so I don't want to. I don't want to put them in a heart-shaped box or anything, but
wow.
Ooh, do you like that? Yeah.
Holy shit. I thought I'd heard it all.
But when you have I feel like the Meat Puppets recorded version, it's a very clean recording. He doesn't, the way he sings it is kind of very straightforward. Whereas when you're live, you're going to, a lot of times people have, they take them a little
warble
more,
a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, some of it's because everything's so loud. You're singing almost. You're like pushing harder than you normally would to like make up for it.
Right. And I feel like Kurt Cobain actually in the Unplugged, well, in Nirvana's version, almost sings with this kind of a little bit of a southern twang he's got to it. He's got this little thing to it. That it just sounds a little different, and it gives it this more of a southern folk rock kind of feel, I think. Yeah. I just thought it was really cool, but
no, I agree. And honestly, the songs, the 3 songs on that they covered by the Meat Puppets, the other one being Plateau and Oh Me.
Oh Me.
Dude, those have always been like some of my favorite ones on that album. Like, dude. I mean, because the Nirvana songs, and there's like I really like the version of Dumb. I really like the version of About a Girl. Penny Royalty's good, but On a Plane, I don't know it.
Something
now I sound like an asshole. It's all good. It's all good, and I like to hear it stripped down, but there was something about hearing those 3 songs for the first time, because I remember getting the album in 94, and I hadn't heard the Meat Puppets at fucking 13. I did not know about them. Sorry. I just, I wasn't like in the underground scene as much.
In Muskegon, no.
Fucking internet.
Yeah.
Just some fucking shit was stacked up,
social studies. Yeah.
Fucking just social. There's some. Some shit
we just weren't there yet. We were focused on other things in life. Dude, could you imagine?
Snoop Dogg was big. No.
Yeah. He was.
Yeah. Huge. Oh, you look like you're gonna cheers me. Now that needs to be one of our thumbnails, is the cheers.
Oh, we will do it. I know. Not sponsored by anyone.
My old fashions are purely sponsored by me.
Can you imagine, though, being the Meat Puppets, getting a call, being like, hey, this is Kurt Cobain. I really like you guys. I saw you guys open up for Black Flag. We're the biggest band in the world. We'd love it.
And you're one of our favorites.
we would love it if you guys would play 3 of your songs with us on MTV Unplugged. Or do you guys happen to be available? It's like, oh well, let me check my schedule.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, we'll cancel the tour to do that.
Yeah.
That would have been pretty sweet to get that call. Now I have I have no knowledge of a phone call or a conversation like that, but it would be cool to know how that went
theoretical, down. Yeah. So I got to ask you then, dude, and I think I know the answer. Luckily, we can't go into overtime or have a WTF, ITS kind of moment on the Covers Face Off, but which version do you prefer?
So I'm going to say this, and I'm going to give a little caveat to it.
Ooh.
I will say Nirvana's version, because that's the first version I heard. I love the way Kurt sings it. I'm a huge fan of Unplugged. And I think I mentioned...
MTV Unplugged the series or Nirvana's MTV Unplugged release in 1994?
Specifically Nirvana. What
about the Alice in Chains
Alice in Chains, STP.
Ooh. Yeah, STP had a good one too.
Fuck. They're really good. Okay.
DMAG?
No. But I like... I think I said the recording of the Meat Puppets version is very clean. And I think it's tough to compare someone's live acoustic version, even if the Meat Puppets or the 2 of the guys are playing with it, the Kirkwoods are playing with it. I would like to hear a live version of the Meat Puppets.
Oh, I think that's out there.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, but I would like to hear that and kind of compare that, because I think there might be some cool nuances there, and I'd like to see how they perform it live. So,
question.
Yes.
The Meat Puppets doing the version like they did on Meat Puppets 2, or them doing more of a stripped down acoustic version?
I would like to see the Meat Puppets do a cover of Nirvana's cover of their version of Lake of Fire. So the Meat Puppets covering the acoustic version. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm surprised anything's left in my head, because I thought it just fucking blew up right there. Like scanners, dude.
It's the cover of a cover, I mean, Nirvana covered the Meat Puppets, but the Meat Puppets
they're gonna cover
Nirvana's version. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like an infinity blanket. Like infinity scarves and infinity blanket. It just keeps covering you.
Just goes. Just go, man.
Well, I'm in the same boat. I imagine a beautiful mixture of these that would be like the subtle drums as Grohl played them, an electric bass because it has a little more thickness. The acoustic bass is kind of hollow. It's one of those things where you're like, okay, I get what you're doing with Unplugged, but like, I'm sorry, the electric bass just sounds better unless you're going full fucking stand-up double bass. Well, that's a different story. But not everyone can pull that off. Either way, I imagine the electric bass, the drums, like kind of a mixture of acoustic and electric background guitars, but that riff should be electric. The riff he plays in there, and then Kurt Cobain singing, like that version is the one that's just like, right?
Wish we could make that happen. It's not going to happen.
My friend, there's a lot you can do with technology. Did you ever hear the version of Unforgettable that Natalie Cole sang with her late father, Nat King Cole?
No, I have not heard that.
It's a cool idea. Well, they basically took his version, right? And they had the master tapes, and then she did a vocal take, and they just kind of cut it so they like sang back and forth against each other. But he was already dead, dude, for like decades. It's just kind of cool, right? You're cool. Singing with your dad, on the original record. That's kind of sweet. Anyways, sorry, I digress.
Wow. You digress. Wow, that's pretty trippy.
Yeah,
wrap my head around that too.
Go ahead and try. Yeah,
I will.
Yeah, go there. Do it. I'm
gone. Okay.
Well, we're gone.
All right. The first 2021 episode of the Covers Face Off. Gosh, I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did. And obviously, in the beginning, just like we do every time, we forgot to ask you guys to like, subscribe, and comment below. Yeah. So now that you've done that and you've liked, you subscribed.
I'm sure everyone's still here, number one.
Yeah. I mean, because we haven't gone off the rails at all. But
let's
talk more about Nat King Cole.
I feel like the going off the rails part is like why you would be here, because it's like, sometimes you want to hear the really professional, like I'm sitting in class version of how things went. And other times you just want to like bullshit with your friends about it.
Yeah. This is not Rick Beato. This is not the needle drop. This is the Dude and Grimm show.
And we really like those. Like, they're great. I love their channels, but yeah.
We just don't want to do what they do.
Yeah. Why would you? They do it well.
Well, because they have millions of followers. But other than that, yeah. Dude. Grimm, money isn't everything. It's the only thing.
Well, I say the market, there are niches within the market that exist, and we fill one that's not there.
Yeah.
Why do so many people watch shows where people just talk about sports? They didn't even play them. They just talk about them. Dude. That's what we're doing. We're not on the album.
I was going to say, because I'm one of those people, Pat. I watch the shit out of those shows. They're great.
See?
Let's talk. Let's just speculate for like 2 weeks about where this free agent might sign.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't sign there. It's great.
Yeah. And
hypotheticals. Let's run through every hypothetical.
What would have happened if that version had been recorded? It would have been the shit.
What this version presupposes is maybe he didn't.
So, with that.
On that note.
See you later. Yep. This train crashed.
On the Dude and Grimm Show.
Scratch a Track is produced by the Dude and Grimm. Additional music provided by Moore in the Tins. Copyright 2021. The Dude and Grimm Show. I don't want it no more. About to walk through this door.